Okay, so we're going to do the last shellfish dish. This one we're going to do is mussels. So mussels, these ones have come from St Austell Bay. We got these fresh in this morning from Matthew Stevens. Before we do anything, when you receive your mussels, when you get your mussels in, when they come to you, when you check them for the quality, you're going to look at the date, the smell, look if they're open, check it all the way through it, make sure they're really, really safe. But one really important piece of information is that you cut this tag off and you keep this little tag. This is a trace mechanism. If there's ever any form of food poisoning when it comes down to shellfish or anything along those lines, this is a trace. So this traces it back to the source, it traces it back to the batch, and it can trace it to see if it's gone further afield, to see if there is actually a problem with the shellfish. So this is really key. You should keep this, clean it, sanitize it, pop it in a little plastic wallet in your Safer Food Better Business book, staple it to something, but yeah, these should always be kept, and always kept up to 6 months long, just to make sure that there's proper track and traceability for the mussels. When you get your mussels are going to come in, and when you're prepping them, you're going to check them, okay? So we're looking for the quality. We're making sure there's no barnacles. We're making sure that there's no beards. If there's any barnacles or beards, we're going to remove them. So we're going to go through it one by one, just checking it off, making sure they're fine. Because these are in season, we're going to, there's going to be minimal barnacles, minimal beards to it, okay? So we're just checking it through. If I come across one that's open, I'm going to tap it, and as it starts to shut, it means it's alive. If it stays open, I'm very sorry about that. It's very unprofessional. There's some people you have to work with, and some people you're forced to work with. Okay, so if it stays open, that means it's dead. As you can see on that one closed really well. That was a good picture of something closing. So we've got to look at the mussel, and we can see how it's not really closed, so I'm not going to risk it. We're going to go through these, check them off, make sure we're happy with them. If it's broken or damaged, I'm not going to risk it, because I can't judge to see if it's fresh or dead. So I'm checking them. Making sure I'm happy with them. These are actually really clean. I'll show you with this one. If there was a beard, the beard is what it uses to attach itself, either to the rock or to the rope or to the underside of a boat or something along those lines. What you would do is just take it and pull it off. It really is that simple. If you've got a barnacle, the barnacles will look white. What you can do with those is just take a spoon or a table knife and you just scrape it off. Scrape and remove the barnacle. The barnacle won't cause any problems. The reason we remove the barnacles is so that they don't then start to break down in the sauce, and then you don't get sandy bits and gritty bits when you're eating it. Because, like I keep saying, we're always focusing on the finished product. Everything we do, every technique that we do, everything we put into it is all about the end result and the finished product. So, we've got some beautiful ingredients. I've had a look in the fridge this morning, and we've got some banana shallots, we've got some garlic, a bay leaf, some leek, a little bit of tarragon, and then we've got some wonderful Cornish cider. So, really simple. This is something you can cook to order. It's done within 2 minutes and they're absolutely beautiful. We've got a deep pan on that we've got warm. So in our pan, we're going to add our little bit of oil. We're just using a small amount of blended oil. So it's blended olive oil and vegetable oil. So to our pan, we've added our garlic and our shallots and our bay leaf. So we're going to lightly saute that around. Just allow them to be translucent, tiny little bit of colour, and then we're going to go in with our leek. Our leek is instantly going to start to reduce some of the heat in the pan. It's going to absorb some of that heat attention away from the shallot and garlic, and allow it to become even cooking. It's very, very quick, very quick. This stage is almost a form of stir fry because we're not using that much oil and we're moving it around the pan and the pan is nice and hot. In a moment when we add the cider and the mussels, it's going to become a form of steaming because we're not going to add so much cider that it's boiling or poaching. We're going to add a little bit of cider so that the steam actually opens the mussels up and cooks them. So now our leeks and our shallots and our garlic are nice and softened. We're going to go in with our mussels. You will start to see steam starting to come off. That's the juices of the mussels that are being released. They're hitting the pan, they're turning to steam and they're raising. We're then going to take some of our cider. We're not going to add a lot. We're just adding enough to cover the bottom of the pan and we're going to pop a lid on. Turn the heat up. So what this lid's going to do is this lid is going to catch all the steam. The steam is going to come back down and back into the sauce. So when it's steaming away, all that flavour isn't evaporating, it isn't going away into the atmosphere or anything along those lines. We are keeping that around. And what's going to happen, because you can see it's a ball shape, it's going to circulate all the way around. So by the time they're cooked in 2 minutes, all the flavour will have remained in, the mussels will be open, and then we'll be good to serve. Okay, so our mussels have been steaming for 2 minutes. We can see that they're open. We can see that they're nice and plump, absolutely delicious. We're going to season them lightly. And then we're going to finish it with a few sprigs of tarragon. I actually quite like to leave tarragon leaves whole. But you can chop them, you can chiffonade them, you could use parsley, lemon, anything along those lines. So we're now going to take our bowl. And we're now going to serve our mussels. If you wanted to, before you serve them, you could finish them with cream, you could finish them with butter, you could finish them with butter and cream. But a classic way is to just leave it as the liquid intends. The classic Mussels mariniere has been developed and shown to have cream in, but traditionally it's just white wine, garlic, and that's it, finished with parsley. But yeah, there we go. You can rearrange them nicely so you can see them in the bowl. Make sure you're thinking about the presentation of how it looks. Right at the edge, job done. So that's our steamed mussels in Cornish cider with leeks, bay and tarragon.